Welcome back to One Mic Media. And we're here today to present Beyond the Trenches, Week 6 of the NFL season. We're here to discuss what happened this week on top of the scores and the highlights, as well as some trades throughout the NFL and some major moves. And of course, what our predictions for next week. Can't do that without the usual suspects, though. My usual team. Got to bring in, first and foremost, my man Daryl. What's good, Daryl?
What's good, Mike? You know, fresh off the Steelers win. They trying to assemble the Avengers to beat us this week, but we're going to talk about it.
We're gonna definitely talk about it. We're going to get into it. We're going to get into it. And fresh off a win, I don't know if you're proud of this win, but the Eagles, my man Jordan, what's good, Jordan?
What's good, bro? Nah, I mean, it was a good week. You feel me? It was the Eagles win, Bishop Sycamore win. You feel me? Watch the throne pack loading. And, we heading into this next week trying to
We're going to get to those fantasy updates. But
what I mean?
Can't have a Steelers win without a Raiders loss. So let's bring in my man, Jeff.
This show started being a little too biased, man. I'm going to have to find me another. A little bit too much bias here,
man. Listen.
I don't know if you heard, but watch the throne pack coming around. I got something for you when I see you.
Yeah, bring me the rug out the basement. Come on, man. Still in the cellar, dweller.
Yeah, well, just to do my fantasy update, Jordan did get his first win, so the entire league does have a win now. No more people in the schneid this week. Stuff like that. I don't even know who did I beat this week. I don't know no more. Justin. But I beat Justin. Justin beat ain't Justin the first? I did? Oh, okay, all right. I beat Justin. And Les Welker lost to Toby or whatnot. So I was happy to see that.
Man. Hi for the show.
Listen, real quick, man. Shout out to Toby. Toby on his honeymoon, man. My boy just got married, man. He had a great wedding, man. That joint was crazy.
You know we had on his honeymoon or not? You don't know?
Man, I forget.
All right. Shout out to Toby.
Nice as shit.
It's been a few weeks, but he got married. If anybody want to know who watch our show live, he will be back whenever he gets back from his nuptials and stuff like that. We're going to hold it down, though. We're going to hold it down until he get back, though. Starting with this week, we got first and foremost Monday Night Football, of course, as we always go backwards to go forward. The Bills outlast the Jets. In the game where we saw Rodgers almost have 300 yards, played well, but the Jets still didn't get the win. However, the story after that was Devontae Adams get traded from the Raiders.
It is a black hole. It is a black hole.
To the Jets, and we saw him all smiles at Aaron Rodgers' house. So, Jeff, this is your Raiders, man. I always talk about that, or talk about the game, the Jets and the Bills, man.
We talk about the collusion that happened first. No way he's in New York already that fast, but we just that was Chris. But the game was interesting though. It was actually a really good game for the Jets offensively. I mean, they had two 100-yard passers, a 100-yard rusher. Rodgers played pretty well. Bills Nation just really rose up for Josh Allen. He had a really, really, really solid game. I think seeing him do less with less this season is actually beneficial for him. The turnovers are hugely down. Coming into the season, he led the NFL in turnovers since 2018. That was something we talked about religiously here on the show. But it was a really good game. The kickers, listen, man. Let me go back. The Jets play calling, it's still kind of sketchy if you ask me. I like that they had a new play caller since the coach coming in. His defense is still kind of suspect a little bit. He still needs to work. And they're saying that's the better part of the team. I think he still needs to work on that, get better with personnel, his play management, being able to do both at the same time. But, it was a good divisional win for the Bills, who tend to keep trucking along. Not to add that they added Amari Cooper this week. So, that's another thing.
Add that to the news, too,
Make them a little bit better, giving them a number one option for Josh Allen to go forward. I hope he doesn't have the same regression that he had when he had a number one receiver before. But, it's going to be a good AFC East run. You got the Bills. You got the Jets. There also was talk of Tua coming back at the end of the season, so we'll see how that works out. The Patriots are still trying to figure some kinks out, but this game was a good battle. It was filled with stars on the sideline. I think I saw a Fab there, 50 Cent there. So shout out to the celeb showing up out Jersey, one up. to Jet Life Stadium. But this could end up being one of those tiebreaker games. One of those things where it can come down at the end of the season, where both teams need to figure out if they're going to make the playoffs or not. I still have aspirations that the Jets could make the Super Bowl, like I predicted in the beginning of the season. Adding Devontae is going to be another option for him. I think it's off Garrett Wilson. They still have the running game, and I think they need to lean more on that. But this was a good win for the Buffalo Bills to get under their belt before the Jets in their new look come out and are ready to take the league by storm.
All right, Dad, your thoughts on the game and the trades of both teams, I should say, adding new receivers after the game.
Yeah, I'm gonna start with the Jets. I was surprised the Jets offense played better than the defense. I kind of want to think it was losing Salah for this week kind of played a role with that. He's a defensive minded coach. I know the defensive coordinator uh, filled in for him as far as like taking over, but I feel like just losing Salah kind of hurt that defense just for this week. But I feel like they'll bounce back. And kind of like what Jess said, I feel like the Jets offense. This is I know they only scored 20 points, but I feel like this was their most like effective all game offensively. Like he said, two 100-yard receivers, one 100-yard running back. The big plays were missing throughout the year. They finally happened this game. Obviously, the vintage Hail Mary from Rodgers, some big runs from Brees Hall, some run after the catch from Wilson. So the big plays were there, and I feel like that's going to improve with the move they made. The defense, they need more pass rushing. I know we talked about it a few times. Sending Huff to the Eagles, not getting the deal done with Reddick. That left a void as far as the pass rush. And also the secondary was struggling this game. The second corner DJ Reed, once he went out, that pass defense struggled a little bit with only Sauce being right like the true like real guy in that back end. So, but I feel like this was just a week. The defense will kind of struggle just having to. I feel like their main motivator losing him, and I feel like they'll adjust as the season goes on. But I feel like the Jets missed field goals cost them the game. Like after after the second half, I think the Jets only gave up like 3 points, but they left at least six on the board with missed field goals. So if they hit one or two of them, that may change. Might send it to overtime. It might change the trajectory of the game. So it was a real good game, close on both sides, and it's kind of crazy how both division rivals right after the game made moves or wanted to try to one up each other as far as the trades they made. The Bills, I feel like the Bills they got saved by their backup running back Ray Davis stepping up. He was their main guy. Like he was the leading rusher and leading receiver. The Jets defense I feel like kind of played into that as far as Ray Davis having a good game. Josh Allen he bounced back from last week, but without Ray Davis, all the pressure would have been on him, and I feel like those inevitable turnovers would have came up. I think he had he lost the ball once, but they were able to get the recovery. So good on him for not having turnovers. But I think the main thing was the Bills they got saved by the backup running back stepping up. It was clear that they were missing a playmaker on offense, so it's kind of leads to the reason why they made the move right after the game. I'll start with that. I'm gonna start with the Cooper addition. I feel like Allen and Cooper they have a chance at this point to build work on that chemistry to be ready for the playoffs. I think Cooper's going to just fill the void that they need, like a big playmaker guy. Like on last year, he was getting like 20-yard games with Joe Flacco. Like he's known for the scoring at any point. As soon as just get the ball in his hands, he can score. So that's going to take a lot of pressure off of Allen. And this his personality as well. He's like not a dominant locker room personality. He's like a perfect receiver for the quarterback as far as not saying too much, always being at the right place, making the right plays. So it was a good move for the Bills, for the Jets and Devontae. They needed to do something. I feel like this move kind of saved their season as far as like the hopes as far as turning things around. Because it was clear after the game, Rodgers he lost trust with Mike Williams. I remember it was 1 3rd down. He threw the ball right on the money. It just went right through Williams' hands. That was strike one. And then the last play of the game, you can say it was either underthrown ball or he was Mike Williams ran the wrong route. But point is that the connection wasn't there, and like I feel like that just sealed the deal as far as the trust with Rodgers. And now Rodgers he got two receivers on the outside as far as who he can trust with Devontae and Lazard. and now they can move Wilson now to the slot, which I feel like is going to be a nightmare for defenses. Like his talent, just his he just displayed last game like what he can do once he gets the ball in his hand. So they put him in the slot, have him work on like the defense's second or even third best corner. That's going to create the mismatches. Still got the two good running backs behind him. So I feel like that move saved the Jets season. They still got work to do, especially this week coming up. That's kind of crazy how the timing is right when they play the Steelers. They gotta get these pieces and feel good about themselves. But they got some work to do. But they say they season with that move for Devontae.
Green Bay East.
Jordan, your thoughts on the games and the trades?
So as far as the game, I mean, I kind of thought it would go it went how I thought it would kind of go. I thought the Jets defense would definitely be a little bit better. I thought that both teams would be able to run the ball on each other. I wasn't surprised about Ray Davis. He was a good back coming out of Kentucky. They got a nice little 1-2 punch. He'll probably start to get some more burn coming into going into the rest of the year. Um, you know, the game could have went either way. If the wind wasn't blowing crazy, the Jets, I think if I'm not mistaken, they missed 2 field goals. That's 6 points that they left off the board. They would have won the game. So I mean, I have to consider that. But Rodgers played a little bit better than how he played against Minnesota. But ultimately, like Devontae Adams is going to make them obviously a better offense because he's, a great player and he has that chemistry with Rodgers. Um, but if they don't fix the offensive line,
Mm-hmm.
like they're not going to do anything. Like he literally he's not the same. Obviously, he's 40 years old, so can't really move around. He can move a little bit, but he's not, what he used to be. So like there's plays where he can barely get to the top, but by the time he gets to the top of his drop, like he's got rushers. So it doesn't matter who is he's throwing to. If they can't block for him, they won't be successful. And if they can't run the ball successfully, they had big plays running the ball, but the majority of the time they were kind of kept in check, and that was supposed to be the focus of the game. Rogers, played well and he got hot a little bit, but at the end, like Rogers says he ran the wrong route. Okay, that might have been the wrong route, but I mean, yeah, Mike Williams slipped, but the ball was short. So like I don't believe the Jets are a Super Bowl team. There's no Super Bowl team that has an offensive line that looks like that. I mean, I remember the Bengals had gotten there. That was the worst offensive line, but shit, Joe Burrow can fuck around. He can move. Like he can move inside the pocket, get around, do all types of shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see. I mean, it was an addition, but the more impactful trade was Cooper to Philadelphia because they needed a number one receiver. The way that they play, that was just the perfect fit for them. So I think that was the better, more impactful signing than the Devontae Adams trade. They need to go trade for an offensive lineman. That's what the Jets need to do.
Okay. Yeah, I think that the game was. I mean, the kicker missed 2 field goals, really, really messed them up. I felt like the Jets could have won that game. The defense played better than they had been playing certain games, how they did with the offense. But I felt like that the offense kind of got too cute sometimes. That one little trick play, little flip flicker they tried, they got right away. They got them right there. I hate when these offenses try too much. You know what I mean? Sometimes just like they were rolling too. They try this play, all of a sudden sack 13 yards and whatever. So I hate that. But they did run the ball better. They started using Brees better, which I'm sure Darryl was happy about. But they do need another receiver. So Devontae should help them because he knows the playbook. He knows Rodgers. He's living with Rodgers, so they get comfortable with that as well. Yeah, it's crazy right now. But he got nowhere to stay. He got no house out there.
I know, but like, geez,
staying with him.
Yeah, he living with Rodgers. Yeah, right now.
They say Rodgers. He knew the news like at midnight at that night.
Because he lived with him.
So, I don't know if that's true because in July when Rodgers did the golf tournament, he was like, "I can't wait to play with Devontae Adams again." Like, so they was trying to get this in the works.
Yeah. So, but that's kind of dope. After the game, they can talk about plays, talk about what they see. So I feel like that's pretty good for them. And Devontae family is still in Vegas or whatever like that, so he can focus on football. So I like that for them. But I guess the new play caller was a little bit better, but with the Bills though, I always said all year long they needed a number one wide receiver. Like they wasn't gonna go nowhere with this group of characters because when it come down to it, you gotta have somebody to go to. But Cooper, I don't know if he's that guy either. Like he kind of like a little longer in the tooth to me.
Yeah, this will be the.
Doesn't matter.
This will be
Think about it. Like
It's better than what they had, but it ain't Stephon Diggs. I'm saying
Whenever he was on the Raiders and
it's
Cowboys.
an upgrade. I mean, it's
Yeah, he
definitely an
definitely-
upgrade.
it's not getting him to the chip. I'm sorry, bro. Like
What'd you say, bro?
Oh, Daryl? Yeah, what you say,
No,
Daryl?
you said-
It seemed like it's
Yeah,
been
what'd you
forever
say,
since
Daryl?
we seen him on the Raiders and Cowboys. Like he definitely had a long career. So
Yes, I don't know if he gonna get him. He not. They still ain't better than Houston, Baltimore, or KC to me, even with Amari Cooper. So,
But if
I
you
just-
look at if they don't listen, the McDermott sold the game for the Bills against the Texans.
Mhm.
The Chiefs and the Bills. I mean, I get it. The Chiefs are 5-0. They're a top 5 team. We'll talk about
Andy
that
Reid.
later. But it could go either. It could go either way with them.
who Chiefs and Bills?
No way.
the
Andy
current
Reid.
Chiefs
I
Wait.
without
get
some
it. I mean, I
pieces.
get why you would say that. But this gives them better. This gives them more of a chance.
Yeah, I said
To
that,
be
but I don't
competitive.
see them beating the Chiefs, Ravens, or Texans, even with Amari, because they got the number one receiver they got now is 34 years old, whatever he is. You know what I mean? Ain't like they got a new shiny new toy or something like that. You know what I mean? And Shakir, he didn't step up. He's supposed to step up a little bit. The other guys, all the other guys are just the Jags. All the other receivers, pretty much.
But maybe they fit better in those roles with somebody else leading it. You know, maybe Shakir is better as the slot or the 2. And look, James Cook is a dynamic back. If once he gets healthy again, he can pass catch, he can run. Maybe they found something with Davis and Tyler.
I mean, I like what they're doing as a team. I still see him win a Super Bowl. Like what Darryl said about Allen. Allen haven't had a pick in 8 straight games going back to last season. Allen been playing pretty good, take care of the ball. So I like what they're doing, running the ball. Like even with this game, when we cook out, Davis ran the ball. I still see them having enough to And I guess the Super Bowl are bust every year, so I don't think they're gonna win the Super Bowl. That's just my opinion. Neither one, the Jets or the Bills. To be honest with you.
New York is thirsty.
Well, yeah,
What happened?
for sure.
New York is thirsty for a chip.
They are, but they're not going to do it. So we'll see what happens moving down the line. We should beat the Jets this week, so they already going to look bad already. So we're going to see. Don't start, Jeffy. We've been through this with you already. So anyway, speaking of those amazing Steelers, topic number 2: Steelers blow out the bum ass Raiders or whatever like that. After this guy thought, and before Jeff said anything, 19 points is a blowout in the NFL.
No,
But nevertheless,
47-9. It's not like
what?
it could have been
I
47
mean,
to 9.
it's damn near.
It's 3 scores.
Damn near 3
Listen.
scores.
Your coach
I
was
mean,
cheering over 4 points over the dog pound. Relax. You should chill too. Like,
But I'm gonna start with Daryl, man. Since got to go to my fellow Steelers, man. Steelers, Raiders, man. What you think about the game? And I'm sorry. And also now that Russ taking number 1 snaps as well.
season ago.
I'm gonna start with on the lighter note. I'm proud of Najee, bro. Like I feel like he heard like all the criticism, like especially last week when everybody was talking about the Saints D lineman was faster than him. He had his best game this year. Like 2 big runs. The first one, he shook the shit out of number 18. First of all, having number 18 as a DB, that's the first problem right there. But Najee, he shook the soul out that man. And then the second run, I think it looked like he jumped from like the 10-yard line and got to the goal line. So big for him. But he ran with a purpose. He ran with energy. Hope he picks up and carries that moving forward. Shout out to the O-line, Creighton Olds. They've been struggling all year, either with run blocking and pass blocking. I feel like this was their best game, run blocking. They struggled a lot, pass blocking. The defense, they locked down after the first drive. TJ Watt, I know we had these conversations a few times. Can't nobody tell me nothing about TJ Watt. Like he just that guy when it comes to being the best player on defense, possibly in football, really, when you think about it. Just what he's able to do in clutch situations, like just the impact that he has on winning with us specifically is just crazy.
Real quick though, hold on. I think Aiden was better this year, but now he gone. But I think Aiden
Yeah,
was
he was on the road.
Yeah,
He was
he's
on the
way
road.
you
better.
know,
He was on the road for
but
sure.
now he gone though. So
Yeah,
go
and then
ahead.
with Fields, I feel like for Fields, this was the first game he didn't take a step forward. Like he kind of like stayed in place for me. He missed some open receivers, had some inaccurate throws, but thing is, he made some key plays, like turned disaster plays into first downs with his legs, and also didn't turn the ball over as well. So I did overall, I don't think he played well enough to keep his job. Um, and then, but again, I'll get to that in a little bit. But
Hmm.
the Raiders. I feel like they just need to embrace the rebuild. Took the first step with trading Devontae, but again, I think it was too late. I feel like you would have got more if they traded him before the draft. I feel like they just tried to keep him to see how the season would start. I feel like that was a mistake. Now I feel like they gotta trade Crosby. I feel like right now Crosby's value is at its peak right now. Especially teams like the Lions,
Right, that'd
they
be
gotta answer
perfect.
them. They gotta answer them calls because you gotta get those picks. You gotta get those value because it's just makes no sense keeping them right now, keeping them playing, possibly getting injured, and you get nothing for them in return. I feel like they just gotta embrace that rebuild. Look for a quarterback next draft, and just take it from there. Um, as far as this quarterback situation, I need to see what Tomlin and these players are seeing because I watch every press conference. I watch every for coach and the players. Patrick Queen said Russ looks good in practices. That's practice. Like I gotta see it with my own eyes. Like Tomlin said, we've been good at times, but it shouldn't be confused with great. He's kind of right. Like we've been good. We've been getting by with these wins. Haven't been like dominant as far as quarterback play. I know Jeff he talked about the stat as far as Fields being first in sacks, as far as sacks taken over the last 2 years, but Russ is third on that list. So I feel like, especially with just his age and where his body is right now, I don't see how he can be an improve. The only thing he can do better really is get the ball out faster. But if that doesn't work, like he's just stuck. He's a duck in the water as far as the staying in that pocket, not being able to move, and with the pass rush coming. I feel like I feel still the better option in my opinion. I feel like this could be the first possible mistake for Tomlin in a long time, but again, I've been trusting Tomlin all since he's been the coach. I'm gonna still trust him, but I just really I gotta see what he sees as far as him making. Again, he hasn't officially made the decision, but
Yeah.
he's opened up the door as far as Russ being healthy, getting him reps and practice throughout the week. I'm still holding out hope because as far as like Fields, he's won over the fans, he's won over the locker room, and because of that, Russ is at a disadvantage. Like the first drive, everybody's going to be just glued on Russ and what he does. Like if it's a three and out, people are going to start booing and calling for Fields. So he got to hit the ground running and remove all of that because if he does, then hey, he's good. He's good to go. He can keep the job. But I feel like this is just I want to say dangerous waters because we 4-2. It's heading into week 7. If we lose this game, it's not at the end of the season. We can always go back to Fields if that is the decision that they're going to make. But right now, the fans see Russ as a stranger because because of Fields, he won us over, and we just gotta wait and see. I'm still holding out hope for Fields, but I'm gonna keep an eye out on these practice. I've been watching practice clips and everything. This is just trying to get an idea what they see, but we're gonna find out for sure.
Jordan, what you think about the Jets Raiders and the possibility of Russ starting this week, bro?
Well, I mean, I feel like we talk about the Raiders way too much on this show.
Stop it.
They're nothing to talk about until they get a quarterback. They're in the shitter. There'll be a black hole forever. They've been a black hole since 1975. Since
That
the
when they
last
went
time
to the
they
Super
won a
Bowl in
fucking Super
2002.
Bowl.
But
So who
okay,
cares?
all right.
Um, you know, and they could have got more for Devontae. I would have asked for a second. I trade Max Crosby, get as much as I could, start a rebuild, tank for Shador or Travis, but Shador because you need a QB. As far as the Steelers, I mean, I knew they were gonna stink. They were gonna trash Vegas. I am not for the Russ. experiment. I like the Justin Fields led Steelers. I think the Justin Fields led Steelers can be an issue in the playoffs because defense travels, and that's the best part of their team. When they are locked in, they probably can have a top. They're probably the top three defense when they're playing at their potential. They're a top three defense in the league. Their secondary has actually gotten a little bit better um, since over the last few years, and they still have the pieces on the inside and the linebackers. So everybody's complaining about Justin Fields for whatever reason. Um, He hasn't really turned the ball over. Has he maybe left some throws out there? Yes, but would you rather him turn the ball over or just get the first down and keep the chains moving? And I mean, win ball games. He's made plays, and I think in those games, especially in the playoffs, in those tight games, you know, he cause you know we. What is the difference? And y'all are gonna go crazy when I say this. When's the last time we saw Patrick Mahomes throw for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns?
He has to throw for 3 touchdowns in 18 games. To answer your question, so
So it's not like, you know what I'm saying,
I hope you're not trying to
all
compare the
these
two.
all these primetime QBs that we're
Right.
so accustomed to doing are lighting up the scoreboard and lighting up the yards, right now this year. So let's slow down on Justin Fields is not doing this or Justin Fields is not doing that. Justin Fields is, well, you guys are 3-2 or 4-2?
4-2.
4-2. A 4-2 football team that he's been responsible for the majority of the touchdowns and hasn't turned the ball over. I think that should be. I think this is the best that he's played as a quarterback since he's been in the NFL.
Agreed.
Think
Jeff,
that's yeah.
Jeff, talk about the game if you like. Also about we'll think about their proposal of trading Max Crosby and also the Steelers and possibly starting Russ this week.
So I mean, the game was it was a close game. It was 12-7 up until the third.
My
I mean,
fault.
it was
All
12-7 up until the end of the third quarter. Then they got away from it. Like it was a tight game. The Steelers were their offense is not that great. I don't know what everyone else is looking at. I mean, you're looking at Fields escaping the pocket, but he's only got 2 games over 200 yards this season, which is not going to be good enough for a starting quarterback in the NFL to contend in the playoffs or even go for the Super Bowl. So that's just not going to be enough. That's why they're benching him. As far as the Raiders go, we're not going to trade Max Crosby. I mean, it sounds good right now, but let's think about it. We were really just a quarterback away. Let's be for real. Like, I mean, we ended last season 3-1. We were 2-3 coming into this game. I think we needed to do a quarterback change. I don't know why we bought in Gardner Minshew to have him start. We should have just went with O'Connell because, like I said, he had 8 touchdowns.
Being the quarterback for 25 years.
I'm not even gonna comment on the one Super Bowl Eagles, but I'm just gonna say like that. You know what I'm saying? Who have quarterback issues, but again, it's just not that far away.
You got a better quarterback than you.
Detroit is not going to mortgage the future just to sign Max Crosby when then soon they're going to have to pay Aiden Hutchinson and Crosby in 2026 because they both came out in the same draft. So they're not going to do that. They got what's the name on the hook? They got Goff on the hook for about 2 more years. He's 30. He's making about he's counting against the cap probably about like 20 million. So they're not going to do that. The team that might be able in the running is the 49ers. While they still have Brock Purdy on a cheap contract, they're obviously going to lose one of the wide receivers, but that's here nor there. Like I said, the Raiders, we didn't really address some of our needs in the running game. Like I said, the game was close. It was 12-7 up to the third quarter. It was all good until they called back the touchdown that we had. I think it was 22-7 at that point, and they called back a touchdown that we were going to go punch in for a legal man downfield, which they shouldn't even have called. Even if you listen to Charles Davis on the play, he said, like, dang, he wasn't even that far downfield to even call it. So, that was the case there. And from that point, it just spiraled out of control. But again, like I said, as far as the Steelers go, I mean, like I said, Fields only has 2 games over 200 yards this season. Yeah, you might be like, oh, yeah, but he can run. But listen, teams are going to lock down on that. It's not like the Steelers have a running game that's just illustrious and doing crazy work. It's not. I mean, Najee Harris had his first 100-yard game. He still isn't that fast. We just are bad at stopping the run because we are a pass rushing defense, the Raiders themselves. I think change is going to help because it'll Fields holds the ball too long. That's why he gets sacked. He had 3 sacks against us. He only had 145 yards passing. Like he holds the ball too long. They need to get someone who's going to have a quick hitter that'll get to the playmakers faster and be able to get the ball down the field, move the chains. Now, look, Pickens I think he's going to thrive with Russ. Honestly, I do. If Russ gets the ball out quickly to Pickens, let Pickens make plays. Freiermuth is probably going to benefit because he's a good tight end. He's a very solid tight end. Having Jalen Warren back is also going to benefit because he's a more shiftier running back. He'll be able to catch the ball out the backfield and run really well. So I'm not opposed to the Russ change. And let's remember, Russ already beat Fields out in the offseason for the starting job. He just got hurt. So let's not stray away because of what we saw of 6 games where the Steelers are 4-3 now. He did lose 4-2. He did lose 2 back-to-back to the Colts, and he lost again to he was on a 2-game losing streak. And he threw 100 and something yards the game before this one, and he had the 300-yard game against the Colts. So it's not like, he's not bad terribly, but he's not like that. And this is a passing NFL. If you can't pass the ball with some sort of regularity, you're not going to go far. They're obviously showing that. The rules have been towards passing. The game has evolved, and it's a passing NFL. And if Fields can't do that, and he hasn't been able to do that, that's why he's actually on the Steelers. So let's not escape the facts of the matter here because we're seeing some small tests, a small window of 6 games where he's still only 4-2. It's not like he's undefeated or anything of that magnitude. So I like the Russ change. I don't think they go back to Fields at this point, honestly. I think they should use Fields as trade bait now, because you fractured his confidence if he had any confidence going into this. He did just come off the win, and deciding to go in another direction probably could have hindered his progression. So I think at this point, they shouldn't use him as trade bait. Maybe get an offensive line. Maybe bring in another weapon. I wouldn't have been opposed to them trading Fields. I would have, but I wouldn't have. If they offered him to the Raiders for Devontae, that would have bolstered their wide receiver room. It would have made sense for the Steelers itself. I'm not saying for the Raiders, but for the Steelers, it would have made sense because right now Fields is on a hot streak. He looks like he's very profitable if you get him off the books. But again, they didn't do that, and we'll continue to see what happens. I think Russ will be solid. I think we're confusing. Last year, he had 26 touchdowns and 7 interceptions on a team that didn't even want him. Not even a number 1 wide receiver there. Number 1 wide receiver was Courtland Sutton, and that's not enough. So we'll see what's going to happen. I like the Russ move opposed to what some of you all like. And, again, they'll still finish 9-8, and they'll cheer about a 20th winning season. So
let me the game will be quick because I knew what was going to happen in the game, so I ain't got to really talk about that too much. We do what we do. We go to Vegas and make it our home. And if you look at the stadium, a whole bunch of terrible towels out there in Vegas.
That was crazy.
Yeah, because that's
site. Don't get carried away.
That's our second home right there. But nevertheless, about the and I agree with you, Jordan. We talk about the Raiders way too much on this show. We probably have to cut them out a little bit. But moving forward, though, about the move, man, I feel like that. How I always felt. I feel like you gotta let Fields grow. He's young. Russ, we already know we're getting with Russ. You know what I'm saying? And he's not getting better than he was. Fields had 200 total yards, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers against y'all. He's playing good ball. Y'all turning the ball over. And the OC likes him. Arthur Smith said he liked him. He coachable. He see why the players in Chicago liked him and stuff like that too. The players, remember, they like Fields too. Even in Chicago, the players in Pittsburgh like him. Russ is not likable. Fucking Marshawn don't like him. Rich Sherman don't like him. Nobody likes Russ, bro. He just got a lot of drama. He wanted to play TikTok games with his wife and shit like that. I don't know, man. But he can, we'll see what happens, but I hope they don't actually go all the way through with it. But I think it's not about football. To be honest with you, I think they promised Russ starting job when he came there, and I think that somebody above Tomlin made the call. That's what I really think.
Tomlin don't play them games.
But people above Tomlin, though. He ain't the owner of the GM. What? I'm telling you, bro. I think somebody said, listen, we told you Russ got to start now. He ain't hurt no more. That's what I'm telling you. So, because Tomlin is okay with just winning football. He don't care. You know what I mean? If we winning games, if we running the football, scoring, go ahead, Jeff.
He okay with a mediocre 9-8 season.
He okay with winning football. I like that. You know what I mean? That's future Hall of Famer Mike Tomlin to you. You know what I mean? Super Bowl champion. But we'll see what happens, man. We got to keep the topic going on. But we got to talk about this week, Jordan, because, we beat him up a little bit. Moving forward, next topic here. We got the Niners, though. Niners beat the Seahawks on Thursday Night Football. They look like they are trying to get back on track. We're going to see what happens this week with them. But they did, defense played decent against Geno, get some turnovers there. Offense looked pretty good with Purdy. So, Jordan, what are your thoughts on that game? Are the Niners back on track? What you think? All right, Jeff, you go.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think I didn't think the Niners got too far off track. I mean, they're battling the injury bug. We already know the stat that I'm going to give out. I'm not even going to go ahead and say it there since 1974, but they're battling the injury bug. And the 40. Listen, Geno might put up numbers, but he's so inconsistent. They go up and they go down, and they have a great game, they have a bad game. DK Metcalf gets the ball one game, and the next day DK Metcalf is frying on the sidelines about how he needs the ball more, so forth and so on. The Seahawks just aren't that really. They haven't found the mojo to be really that good consistently at this point. I'm telling you, Brock Purdy is a really good quarterback. Even if he is in the system, you have to play well in the system for the system to look good, and he does that regularly. He throws the ball well. He makes timely decisions. He even scrambles out of the pocket and saves plays. So I don't think that all this system talk and he's not that good. The system's all over the NFL. You got to play good in them. Like, you can have a system all day, but if you play good in it, it works. Debo is kind of getting back in the flow of things. I think 2 weeks ago we saw the Jawan Jennings game, and I thought he would have some impact, but he doesn't. He's falling back to his regular case. I think the 49ers have been beaten up on the Seahawks. I think the last 5 games anyway, they don't have a good record. The Seahawks don't have a good record against the 49ers. I think they'll be in contention to make the playoffs. The running back, it just shows again that Shanahan, what is that? The stretch play, unstoppable, man. You can plug anybody in there. You can plug Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood in there. He might run. It's like, it doesn't matter. I don't even know who 31 was. I didn't know what school he went to or anything. He came in and got 95 yards on the ground. Him and the other guy, Mason, would be a good combination backfield. It's going to be a really good thing. Kittle got off the leash with 2 touchdowns this week. Again, they just have the Seahawks number. The 49ers aren't that far off. The division is likely theirs for the grabbing anyway. The Seahawks are inconsistent. The Cardinals are inconsistent. The Rams, we know they're down because they're missing both of their top pass-catching receivers. So the 49ers will definitely run away with that division, if you ask me. As the weeks go on, they'll start to beat teams, and they'll beat them regularly. Purdy's a really, really good quarterback. And these Thursday night games, you just never know, man. We had Kirk Cochains go for like 36 week before. This week, Brock Purdy hang 36 on the Seahawks. I'm starting to see a little momentum coming into these Thursday night games. The 49ers needed that. That was like good home cooking, kind of get themselves on the road. They got good 10 days off before they come back next week. And I think that we'll start to see them hit some stride. Shanahan, he's starting to get in the hand of these things. And, he's a really good coach. He just has to learn to win the big ones.
Yeah, Daryl, your thoughts on Niners Seahawks, and the Niners, are they back in the thing?
Niners are, I would say they almost back. Like, they'll never be what they were until they get McCaffrey back healthy. But they slowly get into it. Like, I feel like they got through their, I want to say, toughest part of the year with missing a few key players like Debo, Kittle. And then Purdy, he had a couple games where he was struggling there, but I think they got through the toughest part of the schedule. Well, not schedule. This as far as the overall season, they got the Chiefs coming up, so that's going to be another big test. I think they got them this week,
Cowboys,
if I'm mistaken. But I feel like okay. So I feel like the just the overall system, like the running backs, is just plug and play. Like, shout out to Shanahan and that O line. Like Jeff said, you can put anyone back there. Like the bull name Isaac Guerrero. Like, never heard of him, but he.
What school he went to? You know all the school.
That one I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, he was feeling a little bit too humble. He should have definitely kept that going because Juszczyk, he had no problems running that in for a touchdown himself. But I feel like they're almost there. Ayuk, he's still inconsistent. Pockets might be a little bit too heavy now.
He robbed them.
Yeah. But if they get him going, then that's going to be another level that they can tap into. As far as the Seahawks, bro, I hate watching Geno play. Like, it's just like the play's there to be made, and I'm just watching it. Just the play's there. The open receiver is there. He just makes things more difficult than it needs to be.
He's dog shit.
Frustrating game for DK, especially for me because I'm watching his every play. Two missed touchdowns. The first one he couldn't get his toe in bounds, and then the second was
Size
called back for
23.
and the second was called back for illegal motion. So crazy. He could have had a big game that would have changed the outlook of the game, but Seahawks they just missed an opportunity. I feel like they had a chance to take advantage of the Niners' slow start and take advantage of that and capitalize and have put themselves in position to win this division, but. Just I feel like they're just in the middle of the road team, and that's going to hurt them because they need a new quarterback, but they're not going to be in position to get a quarterback because they're just going to be in the middle of the pack. So they just going to be in the middle of the road. They got some tough decisions they're going to make in the future. They can't do it now.
Wait, did they just pay Gino last year?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Think
saying.
so,
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
Because they can't do it now. They got to wait
Yeah,
wait
they
that
got one
contract
more
out
year.
or make a
Yeah.
move.
Yeah.
But they're gonna be stuck in the mud until they find a new quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
they
just-
couldn't wait to get rid of him after next year.
Mm-hmm. Took on 1 for 1. They cut
Exactly.
him. Crazy caps.
Exactly. He's decreasing his value every fucking week. Like it's crazy. They got some weapons. Like they got 3 capable receivers with DK.
2 running backs too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
they do.
and they got some solid pieces on defense as well. But it all starts with the quarterback just making the plays at the right time. Like you saw the polar opposite with the Niners and Brock Purdy. Like just making the right plays, not doing too much, just doing what needs to be done at the time. So big win for the Niners to get them right on track. I still feel like they one of the top teams in the NFC, but they're not going to be what they were unless they get McCaffrey back.
Yeah.
Jordan, what are your thoughts on that game and those teams?
I mean, so I would agree with everything that everyone said about the Seahawks. Like they're just a team that has so much actual offensive talent, but are one just lacking a consistent quarterback. Like Gino blows my shit because he's not.
He tries too hard to me,
You
honestly.
know what I'm saying? But he's just inconsistent.
Yeah,
You feel me? At the worst times too.
yeah. He tries too hard. I feel
So
like.
it's just like they need more consistent play from the quarterback position, and the Seahawks would actually be legit. Like we would take them serious. You feel me? But we sat there and me and Jeff, I remember low key, like I think we were gonna text at the same time, like the same old Seahawks. You feel me? The same old Gino. So it's just like, when is that? You know what I mean? So until that ever changes, like I'll never expect any of those players on offense to ever reach their full potential, unfortunately, because of Geno Smith. Like, and I hate to say that.
Yeah, I agree.
As far as the 49ers go, like, right, once they get McCaffrey back, if he comes back at all,
Yeah, I
you
don't
know what
know.
I'm saying? They're going to be fully loaded. They're getting healthier. Unfortunately, Mason went down, but I mean, they are kind of plug and play at the running back position. Obviously, none of them are Christian McCaffrey or do anything close to what he's done or does. But they're still winning games. They're still going to be a talented team. So, obviously, we're not going to, count them out.
Seahawks got the Falcons and the Bills next. They could be 0-5 in the last 5 games.
I mean, Seahawks. They got who?
They got the Falcons and the Bills back to back next.
The Seahawks still?
Yeah,
Yeah, that could be 0-2.
that could be 0-5. They're already they started 3-0 and they lost 3 straight.
Yeah, okay.
So they flying back east to go to play the Falcons and then they go back west to play the Bills.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Really,
rough.
bro.
Well, I mean, they're gonna be both in the East, but I get it.
Bills go back
that's,
west.
yeah, that's shitty. I mean,
I think we just got excited about their 3-game winning streak. They beat the Broncos, the Patriots, and the Dolphins, and then everybody started talking about them. It's so great, and then they lost to the Lions. Sadly, the Jets, and then
but that Lions game was like somewhat competitive. You feel me? That's why I was like, okay, maybe they have a shot to be something, and then they showed us why we should have never believed them in the first place.
I agree with everything said. I think Gino just tries too hard. I think they got to dumb down a playbook for him, maybe. Be honest with you, I think, and yeah, I agree with you said about the players on that team. Like DK definitely on the parlay ban list because I never know what gonna happen with him or not. As far as what happened, I can't do it no more with that team with him, man.
Yeah,
Definitely on the
nah.
parlay ban list.
I
But
mean, Walker, he had a great game.
he did. He definitely did. He definitely did. But the Niners, man, yeah, they are plug and play at running back, but they're just not as good as McCaffrey is. Like y'all said, a lot of the same thing. I like what I see from Purdy because Purdy actually moving around the pocket now, and he moved with his legs a little bit more. But he extended plays, and that's like I think he get better. Purdy, to be honest with you. So I like that. Ayuk definitely robbed. I think so, bro. Ayuk definitely robbed him, bro. Funny, we had a conversation in my barbershop for the season starter who was better out of before he got the contract. Out of Ayuk and Devontae Smith, as a matter of fact. And everybody said Ayuk, but I might have to go with Devontae. I don't know, man, because that chicken kind of robbed him a little bit. But
into the Steelers.
maybe, but I still don't think that. I'm kind of with Daryl. They're gonna wind up like in that conference. We're gonna talk about it a little later on. I don't think they're in the top 3 or 4 teams in that conference right now, and I don't know how they're favored this week against the Chiefs or whatever like that. So that's surprising.
Because the Chiefs aren't fully loaded either.
She's 5-0, bro.
I hear you. No, I hear you. But revenge factor. Chiefs aren't fully loaded.
They haven't beat them in 4 games yet.
They ain't either. They ain't fully loaded either, though.
But it's just like when the Eagles lost to them, we played them going into the next year. We were favored. We beat them.
Yeah.
In the regular season. In Kansas City, it's get back.
I tell you what, I'm gonna tease it up and take the Chiefs. Give me like 5-6 points. I got the Chiefs.
I mean, yeah. Plus, you're taking the Chiefs to cover 6.5?
Yeah. Andy Reid is 21-4 after the bye. And Patrick Mahomes is 11-1-1 against the spread.
No, to cover 6.5.
No. I'm giving the Chiefs 6. No.
More than 7.
Yeah. I would take that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
They're already getting 2 with 1.5. I'm gonna tease it up to 5.5, basically.
Okay, yeah, I would take that. Yeah.
I don't know. Mahomes is 11-1-1 against the spread. I don't know if I would bet it.
Yeah, but win or lose. That's you feel me?
Yeah.
If they win, bet. If they lose by a ton. I got that.
Yeah. So, but they don't really lose by a lot when they do lose. The Chiefs, they play a lot of close games, stuff like that. So
21-4.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time they got blown out.
Right, so I'm gonna go with that one. But anyway, the Niners we're gonna see. They probably lose to the Chiefs, beat the Cowboys in my opinion. But I thought that they wind up like in that second tier of the NFC.
Right.
Is what I think. Moving on to the next subject, though. Let's talk about.
This was just the second
Eagles
Raiders pack loading.
Let's talk about the Eagles Browns.
unfortunately.
I actually would like to go first.
Okay.
If you guys don't mind.
We don't mind.
You guys
Wait,
don't mind.
let me get some tissue first for Jordan.
You
gotta get the Kleenex ready.
Hold on. I got 2 packs ready for the
Jumbo pack,
Why you think I'm about to come up here crying?
You always do.
Eagles beat the Browns by 4, and Nick Sirianni celebrated like he won a championship. So go ahead, Jordan. The floor is yours, bro.
I'm not impressed. There was nothing to write home about. There was nothing impressive about the W. Let's get it straight here. The first play of the game, they run the ball 5 yards, Saquon. They throw 2 passes, and it was 3 and out. I knew how the rest of the game was going to go. From right then and there. They tried to quote-unquote establish Saquon Barkley. Cleveland played decent enough. They still left out plays. Jalen Hurts looked like shit the first 5 passes of the game. Then he catches a little bit of rhythm. I'm tired of them throwing. They ran at least 5 fucking fade routes to A.J. Brown in the fucking first, second, third quarter. Come on. What are we doing? I heard Gilly say this shit on the pivot. fucking run the tush push 42 times up the fucking field. I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm tired of thinking we got Tom Brady. We don't got fucking Tom Brady. This is not it. This is not it. This isn't winning shit. Okay, they squeezed by the Browns and you talk shit to the fans. Get the fuck out of here.
Home
You didn't do
fans.
anything. You did not do anything. It wasn't impressive. So the win was nothing to talk about. I don't give a shit if it was a dub. What did you do? What changed? I'm not impressed. Like, real shit. This is nasty work. This is nasty work that the Eagles are showing right now. Oh, it's a W, so he didn't do enough to lose his job. Bro, he's I don't give a shit what happens at the end of this year. He's out of here. And if they lose, and listen, I'm gonna keep it real. They on upset alert. Because the Giants have a good defensive line. They played well against the Bengals. And it's a revenge factor on Barkley. Now, he's going to want to get his get back too. But if they shut Barkley down, they're going to make Jalen Hurts throw the ball 35 times. And that's what Kellen Moore's going to do. They're going to bait him into doing that shit.
They just lost their best player, I think, on defense. What's that nigga name?
I'm letting you know that. I'm letting you know right now. If Saquon is taken out of the football game, they're going to try to throw the ball 37 fucking times. And I'm going to tell you it's going to be 10 drag routes to Devontae Smith. It's going to be 3 slants and 12 fades to AJ.
Yeah.
And we going and if they lose, it's going to be it's all right, it's going to be a shitstorm. I'm not impressed, man.
Go ahead, Jeff.
I mean, Hurts was 264, 2 touchdowns on 9 incompletions. I mean, you know, he plays bad, you cry. He plays pretty solid, you cry. You're just a crying ass nigga. Like, I just don't understand you, man. Like, you know, look, the Eagles played a solid game. It was kind of like a get right game in the sense of this. They didn't really do too much.
It wasn't.
Sadly, they haven't scored over 21 since week 1 of the season. So that's 5 weeks straight where they've had 21 or less.
But it was a get right game.
I mean, it kind of is. You know, you kind of shut the critics down. You got to build something somewhere. They only allowed 1 sack this week, which is a good thing. Hurts didn't get sacked. He got trashed against the Buccaneers, and that was a bad sign there. The bad thing on this game, in my opinion, that they ran Hurts 14 times, you know, for 33 yards. He didn't really get a lot done.
It's his game.
It's not really his game. I think, you know, having A.J. Brown back was really big for them. They needed to get their stars back. Let's remember, they didn't have Smith or Brown against the Buccaneers. That's why they had the 17-point loss. Getting A.J. Brown back going for 6 catches, 119 yards, and a touchdown was pretty good. Cal Cutter, or whatever that receiver name is, he stepped up big. I'm waiting for Smith. Yeah, Cal Cutter, whatever. I'm waiting for him to get back. I'm waiting for Smith to get back in the groove. He had a good game, 3 catches, 64 yards, and a touchdown. Again, you know, this is sometimes you got to take the wins that come, and I think this is a moment where they should have now. As far as Sirianni being on the sidelines, yapping off, that was a little different. But you know, the Eagles had
a little weird.
Luckily, they didn't lose to the Browns. That would have been even worse. You know,
I wish they did. They could fire this motherfucker.
Nah. You want to stay above in the standings. Right now, the Eagles are what are they, 4-2 now? So they're kind of staying ahead of the standings. They're not going to lose too much ground. It was an ugly game, but it was an efficient game from Hurts. Like I said, 16-25, 264, 2 touchdowns. He ran a little bit. Saquon didn't run too well. He had 18 carries, 47 yards. Wasn't too much on the ground, but they were able to dominate in the air. They wanted to get the rhythm going back with A.J. Brown. They want to get the rhythm back going with Smith. You know, it's one of those games you just take it on the chin. You find the progression and you move forward. The Browns, on the other hand, we're talking about Ayuk robbing them. Damn, Deshaun Watson really stuck him up at the bank, didn't he? 230 million.
Worst contract in sports history.
Like, no mask at all. He really went in there with a butterfinger in his jacket and said, "Give me all the money." Like, you know, and listen, man, I don't know where Cleveland's going to go back. They're going to get Chubb back this week against this week on the road. So they're trying to figure that in. Hopefully he doesn't, you know, re-injure himself. They gave up on Wilson. They gave up on Cooper. I think at this point they probably need to consider just blowing that up too. You know, maybe trade Chubbs. Maybe get Garrett out of there, figure something out was going on, because they're set back for a millennium at quarterback at this point. He has a fully guaranteed contract. That is the worst deal like ever for them to actually take him on after a year of sitting out of football. I mean, the best thing they can do is get him a Seuss in the building, and maybe that'll help him get on track. But Cleveland Browns will be unintended dog shit for the next 5 years at the bottom of the AFC North. And that's just where we are with this entire organization.
Wow.
So, good win for the Eagles. Hopefully they build some momentum against the Giants. They should be able to beat the Giants to kind of get rolling. I expected them to win the division. Now the Cowboys look so terribly trash.
Wow. Go ahead. I'm before I'm going. Go ahead, Daryl. Your thoughts.
Yeah, man.
My fault. It's the Eagles, right? Go ahead, Democrat.
Where's Toby at?
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna start with the Eagles. Go. Sirianni is a character, bro. Like the bark at the fans, just to be that emotional. Like I feel like he had that set in stone all week. Like as soon as we get the game in the bag, I'm gonna start talking my shit. Like that was pathetic, especially against the 1-5 Browns.
Clown, fucking clown. Asshole.
And then the Eagles defense actually quietly playing better since how they started the season. I mean, I know it's not much to stop
They
the
paid a
Browns offense,
geriatric.
but but they they made some stops. They kept the game in control as far as their perspective. But especially with I'm gonna go back to Sirianni. Also, not even just barking at the fan, but had the kids at the press conference like you just won a Super Bowl at the end of the game, just to beat the Browns. Like that's crazy. That's a bad look. The Eagles offense is still struggling. I don't watch the Eagles with a magnifying glass and watch every snap like I do with the Steelers. So I kind of leave it to Jordan to kind of go into detail what is exactly causing the problem. But I mean, new offense coordinator, same problems. At some point, you got to look at Jalen Hurts as far as him being the issue. The different philosophy, same problems. That's what I'm seeing. I said it all last week that them being 9.5-point favorites was kind of crazy to me. I understand getting your weapons back,
Which they did not cover.
Exactly, I was right. Like, especially getting all the weapons back, I could see it, but like I don't think they deserve to be close to 10-point favorites until they show signs of being dominant, like they was at some point. But yeah,
Never
I feel
will.
like they would have lost to a better team offensively.
Yep.
So I feel like they got lucky. I know they can feel confident about getting a win, but they got to play better than they did this week as far as turning things around. Like I said, the best quarterback in that division is still a rookie, and so until that changes, that looks like that's going to play out the rest of the year. But the Browns, fuck the Browns. Like, I don't want to spend too much time with them. I'm happy Cooper got out. They really thought they were making a splash with that Watson deal, but no, the Browns will always be the Browns, and that's all they would ever be. So fuck them, and that's all I got to say about them.
I thought they were making a splash with the Watson deal too.
They did. He made a splash.
Right in the
A
toilet.
little more too many.
He knew what the
Yeah.
fuck he was getting into on them cases.
He's still
I
catching
got-
some.
I got
He's
me
still
a
catching
sucker.
some.
I got me a sucker on the line.
I ain't never
230.
Vegas.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, he got him, and he probably going, what the fuck? Is that me? Oh, shit. My
That's
fault.
the Eagle season, in and out.
Nah, that was my fault, Joe. You good, bro.
Eagles' whole history.
That was on me. But
He
yeah,
was cooked already.
he definitely, Deshaun definitely robbed him. Browns are done. Amari probably happy he got up out of there, I'm sure.
For sure.
With the who the hell they play? Oh, the Eagles. Yeah, Eagles, man. First of all, they haven't scored a touchdown in the first quarter the whole season, or scored
I
first
don't think any points.
any points for first quarter the whole season.
Okay.
So
Okay.
no, I'm just saying this. So Jeff, I know you said they're kind of getting right, but it's still having the same mistakes to me.
Yeah,
Now,
yes.
what is good is Jalen Hurts didn't have a turnover at all for the first time since Thanksgiving last year. So that's beautiful. You know what I mean? So I thought that was a good thing. I do think the play calling wasn't good. I mean, I agree with Jordan. I saw a lot of drags and a lot of over the top to forcing the AJ Brown. They didn't really use Saquon like they maybe should have, but I don't know what's going on with that. Again, I still know what Sirianni does. I'm saying all the time. I don't know what the fuck he do, but I know this week he shaved his head. I don't know what the fuck. He thought he was doing some new shit, and then when he yelled the fans and shit, like he's a clown to me. He's a real clown.
Man, get
I,
his Italian sausage head ass the fuck out of here,
I don't
man.
think. I think he's talking about the players wanted me to have fun. Shut up, bro. Like he's not a head coach material to me. He likes to
Get
be.
him the fuck
He should be
out of here.
up in the box, but I don't know what the fuck he does. Honestly, I don't know what he should do. But
He
he
even
just,
said it. He said my job should be motivating, and
yeah,
you're
the
not
fuck.
motivating. You motivate me to get you the fuck out quicker. I get it. That's what you motivate me to do. You motivate me to egg your fucking house. That's what you fucking motivate me
Hurts
to
don't
do.
like the nigga. You know what I mean? Quiet as kept. You know what I mean? But you can see it all over him. And they won by 4 points against a really bad football team. It's not a good sign to me. I told you, like, I think that San Francisco in that second tier, Eagles might be in that third tier, to be honest with you, as far as teams are concerned. As from what I see right now, the Giants just lost. I don't know who they lost, but it's one of their key players right now. And Neighbor's still out, so they should beat the Giants because of that. But really, they're not much better than them. The Giants were at full strength, if you ask me. I think.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't be surprised if this game is close. I'm
Nah, but
keeping it real. I'm not.
they missing players though, bro. They're not gonna be
They was
great.
missing players against Cincinnati.
They got smacked.
They didn't get smacked.
Who the Browns did?
No, he's talking about
Right.
Giants lost, no.
Yeah, but we don't
No,
know.
I'm
We
talking
don't know
about,
who
I'm talking about, I'm
Cincinnati
talking about the
is.
Giants. I'm talking about the Giants going against us this weekend.
Nah, y'all should be fine against them. However, I don't know what the spread is yet, but that 9.5 was crazy down. You should have bet that for sure.
I
Um,
ain't betting with the Browns out, man.
the whole
He had
thing
too
is
much
that
faith.
the Eagles are not Super Bowl contenders, pretty much to me. I still think they might make the playoff games,
I
but
don't even know about the fucking playoffs right now.
they might, but they're definitely not Super Bowl contenders, man. So, we'll move forward to the next subject. But
It's disgusting right now.
let's talk about
Disgusting word.
the Bears. The Bears beat the Jags in London. And I want to talk about both of the teams, how Caleb has been developing, and what's going to happen with the Jags moving forward. Jeff, why don't you get in there and talk about that?
Yeah, man. That was actually an interesting game, and I think that was a performance of the week this week on Beyond the Trenches podcast IG channel. Only because Caleb had a really good game, 4 touchdowns. He did have the interception. He ran well. He was comfortable in the pocket. Found Cole Kmet for 2 touchdowns. Found Keenan Allen, who's actually back on the field, catching 2 touchdowns. And DeAndre Swift looked real swifty, if you ask me. He ran the ball well, got in the end zone. And I think that's what the Bears needed. They needed to give Caleb some time. I think the expectation was so against Caleb or for Caleb to have success immediately because we had seen this in the previous couple seasons from rookie quarterbacks. And I think the expectations were really high for him. But he needed to get some things under control. He needed to find himself in the NFL. The play calling needed to fit and suit him. He's a really good quarterback. He has good feet, if you ask me, in the pocket and outside the pocket. He has to make sure he stays on target. He's really accustomed to doing a lot of those breakout plays where he just does whatever he wants and tries to make something happen. And this is the NFL. This isn't college. This is the the Pac-12 or the Pac-10 or whatever the case may be. You have superior athletes that are coming after you. You won't be able to escape it every single time. But this was a really good showing. He was 23 of 29, really efficient. Like I said, the 4 touchdowns, he ran what he needed to. The offense seemed balanced. I like that about the Chicago Bears. And it was good for them to get this win over in London because that was the first game ever in London that someone's going over 28 points. So shout out to the Chi-Town. On the other hand, Doug Peterson needs to book a flight next week solely for himself because if they don't win in London this week, he's going to need that flight. He's going to have to get fired. They've given Trevor Lawrence all of that money. He's making $55 million a year. They have ETN. He's supposed to be dynamic. They actually got the kid from LSU, Thomas Jr. He's really balling out this year. Evan Ingram last year led tight ends in yards and catches. He came back off his injury this week, had 10 catches for over 100 yards. That was good for them. But for some reason, the Jags just haven't got it together. They have defensive linemen with Hines Allen. You would think that the defense would be a lot better, but it isn't. It isn't good at all. They're finding a little gym with Tank Bigsby, and they just haven't hit their stride. They faced them in London for 2 weeks straight, which is weird as I don't know what, if you ask me. The same team, home team in London 2 weeks straight. Like, what are they trying to move the Jags to London? I don't know what's going on with that, but that would be a terrible move for the NFL. And they just haven't got it together. Sunshine was 8-3 last year before he got injured his leg. He was moving well, and he just hasn't found that same rhythm this year. Dougie P doesn't have the same moxie he used to have. He doesn't have that same magic he had with Nick Foles when he led the Eagles to their only Super Bowl championship, leading the whole Foles to be the greatest quarterback in Eagles history. And at this point, he probably needs a fresh start. Lost coordinators. They just need to get it together. The Jaguars themselves. So it's a sad thing to see. I thought Lawrence had some really good promise coming out of college. Down there in Clemson, them boys winning a national championship and them trying to bring that over to the NFL, the winning formula. And like I said, he was having some success, but he's just been up and down. And I don't think Doug Peterson is the voice that can kind of get him on track. In my mind, I mean, look, you know what? You don't have to blow it up. You just got to move on from him, and we'll see what happens going there. I think they'll lose again this week in London, and I think they'll fire Doug Peterson. I mean, forecasting exactly what will probably happen, and then we'll have a whole new start from there. I mean, they won't salvage this season, but they'll be able to come back next season with a fresh start and a new head coach. As far as Chicago Bears, the NFC North is really a tight race. I mean, I think you have 4 competitive teams. I mean, the Lions look like they're going to run away with it. The Packers are starting to find their mojo now that Jordan Love is back, my candidate for MVP. How many games can a player miss before being disqualified from MVP consideration?
I mean, Tom missed 4 and won MVP that year.
I looked that up.
Yeah.
The way Jordan Love
and Love only missed 2, so I'm sure he's fine.
Yeah. The way he's looked since he's come back, he's been 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He had that one game he had the 3 picks. So I still got him for my MVP candidate at this point. The Minnesota Vikings have stunned us all. Darnold will come back to earth at some point. And then the Chicago Bears with Caleb Williams, like I said, they're not asking him to do extremely too much. They just have him play within himself, and he's got enough weapons that be pretty good during the rest of the season.
Daryl, what's your thoughts on that game?
I feel like this is the best game for Caleb so far. He's getting comfortable. I feel like he was in command of the entire offense. That's going to help him utilize his weapons. There's a lot of hype before the season about all the weapons he had, but it's really on him to utilize and control that offense. Swift is balling this year, and I'm not sure what happened last year with the Eagles, but he's coming in this year motivated and making plays for his rookie QB. And I said it before. I think I said it before the year. This Bears team is a possible wild card team. Like, they got the pieces. They got a lockdown corner and Jalen Johnson on the back end. They got more after them. They still got some pieces on defense as well. So they're gonna be competitive throughout their year. And I feel like Caleb is gonna get better. Like kind of what Jeff touched on. There's a lot of hype on Caleb beginning of the year, and it kind of added to the pressure with Jaden Daniels starting out hot like he did as well. But he's settling down. The NFL game is starting to slow down for him, and I feel like this is a sign of things to come for him and the team as well. Like I said, the 4 teams in that division, it's record-wise best division in football, and I feel like all 4 teams are going to be competitive to the end of the game. To the end of the season. The Jags, they just trash. Like, they do definitely need to get rid of the coach. I mean, as far as Trevor Lawrence, I mean, he had Urban Meyer. I mean, any QB is gonna suffer with that. And then Doug Peterson is not living up to the hype he had with the Eagles. They got weapons on offense, defense. They need some pieces. They need some help there. From a fantasy perspective, I'm mad that I dropped Evan Ingram last week and let Jeff pick him up this week.
I drafted him though. I
peeped it. But yeah, I think he's gonna get peppered with targets along with Brian Thomas. So that's good there. But they got potential on offense, but I just don't see where they go from here. They definitely got to make a change. They need a new voice in the locker room, I think, and then they need a new GM too, because they need some weapons on both sides of the ball. Just especially defense. Like, other than Josh Allen, who's really famous for only the same name having Josh Allen, the same as Josh Allen for the Bills. But other than that, I can't think of a name that's going to scare offenses on the defensive side. So they got some work to do. I mean, they're one of the 3 bad teams in that division. But for the Bills, this is very promising. This is going to be like a callback game for Caleb as far as when it turned around for him. It's crazy how it's across the country in a prime time game. He had his best game to try to pick up from there. But I like what I saw from the Bills. I'm sorry from the Bears. I feel like the weapons that Caleb they gonna start to eat now that he's starting to settle in.
Jordan, your thoughts on the Jags and Bears in London, bro?
Well, the Jags are definitely trash.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is like it's bad. And Sunshine, I mean, listen, we thought he was supposed to be generational, da 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 da, wooty woo. The only generational thing I've seen him do is come back from 28 down. Other than that, he's looked pretty sus. Like, I'm sorry, I cannot find my lighter. It is killing my shit. I have no idea where it is. I just had the shit. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So, like,
Who was it? Yeah, on the show.
sitting on that shit, you feel me?
Trying to smoke that Watch the Throne pack too much. What it is.
Yo.
Yeah,
Where your pom poms at, yo?
No, I'm saying that's what he said, bro. That's what he said. No, man.
Like, come on, bro.
yeah, you know, I gotta do, Mike. You know what I mean?
Uh,
But yeah, I mean, as far as the Bears, I like what I'm seeing from them. I like what I'm. This is what we envision their offense looking like. Caleb has settled down, like Jeff said. You don't have to always, like this isn't, you're not playing Colorado Pac-12 last year. This is the NFL. You can't always run around make the spectacular play that you used to be able to do. Just play with structure, play on time, play in which the offense is designed to play, and as long as it's a good design and it's going to work and you saw that and putting the ball that one touchdown to Keenan Allen in the red zone, putting it on his back shoulder, putting it right where it needed to be. So he has the same ability as Jaden Daniels as far as being able to be accurate, run with the football. And, I think Jaden Daniels is a little bit better runner with the football than Caleb Williams is. But you saw even against them that he could run with the football, and get first downs, extend plays. So, and he's starting to create that chemistry with Keenan Allen. They can be scary. That is a sleeper duo for top five. That's a top five duo for sure.
Keenan Allen and
That's a top five duo. For
wait,
sure.
Keenan Allen balling again?
Yeah, Keenan Allen and DJ Moore is a top five duo in the NFL. You can make the case top two with Puka and Cup. With Puka and Cup, you also got Waddle and Hill.
Chase and Higgins.
Brown and Smith.
I would add.
What's going on? Like,
Yeah. I would actually take.
I don't know about that, man. Keenan a little long in the tooth, man. Like,
that's what I'm saying,
I
bro.
would
Like,
actually
this
take
guy.
Keenan Allen over T. Higgins.
nah, fuck no.
As of right now,
Hell no.
career, yeah, but now,
I feel you. It's top five though. It's top five. It's top five duo though, for sure. Top five duo though, for sure. But yeah, I mean, Swift made the Pro Bowl last year with the Eagles, bro.
Hey, bro, man.
And he's balling so far.
You had me looking like, hold on, I drafted Keenan Allen. I dropped that nigga. I was like, hold on, he been balling? What are he balling?
Nobody picked him up.
I mean,
Right.
first few games, you know what I'm saying?
And then he had 3 catches and 3 catches after that. He had one good game last week.
He's starting to create that chemistry.
Starting to. He had one game. Anyway, go ahead, man.
All right.
I was like, hold on. He killing right now? What's going on?
Yo, I'm just saying. You know how shit go. Coming back from the injury, you know what I'm saying?
No.
But, I think I think they're going to be all right. Now, playoffs, you never know. I think the Vikings, I think the Lions are going to end up running away with that division. They have a big game coming against Minnesota this weekend. That's going to be, I think the Lions actually do win that game. And I think that you could make the case for 3 teams from that division making the playoffs. No? I mean, you look at the division.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little later, but I agree with that. As far as what you said, yeah, I think Caleb has. I mean, you all said the same thing, so I won't repeat it. But yeah, he definitely settled down. He got it together. I think he's working good with the coach and the OC right now, using the weapons like he should use. The Jags, more importantly, are done. I agree with you, Jeff. Dougie P is a wrap for him. Either he, win a couple more games throughout this season or get fired. Now, either way, he's a sitting duck right now. I think that Trevor might need a younger coach at this point. Maybe have some more innovative play calling a little bit for him. I feel like that Doug, whatever he's been saying, is going on deaf tone right now. So I feel like that, with the contract that they got him, Trevor going to be there regardless. So who got to go? Can't fire Trevor. Can't fire the owner. Doug ain't got to go. So I feel like that he's the next one up. They're not
Do you
using eight.
believe? Do you believe in? Do you believe in T. Law?
Yeah,
Do you believe in Sunshine?
yeah, he's a good quarterback. That's
I
not
You
mean,
think
even
he's a
crazy.
good QB?
Yeah,
I think he's a good quarterback. Yeah, I don't think he's. He's not elite, but I think he's a good quarterback though.
he's a good quarterback.
Okay.
He's
Okay.
better than Will Levis.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, shit.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, so you think that they it's not the right
Coach.
coaching talent around him?
Right. And their
Yeah.
plays are innovative. They're so predictable.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Doug's coming to the old school coach mind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think that it might be time for Doug to hang it up a little bit. But I think that, and I don't know if his message going is not going deaf ear. I feel like, and I feel like they got so much tied up into him. They got to do something. So,
So
and then
so you guys felt he was worth the 55?
no, I didn't think that either.
They had
But
to do it because of
but they
the
paid it. Yeah. Do I think he was worth it? No. But since they paid it, now they got to do something. And I feel like the only thing you can really do is move Doug at this point. So, but the Bears going to be all right, though. The division is stacked. We're about to get to that, a little bit. Moving forward, though, Ravens beat the Commanders. That was a good game. You got a young guy and Daniels versus Lamar, 2-time MVP. Ravens do pull it out. And I asked this question, and I think I saw this thing online. And then my boy texted me that shit too. So they said, "Is Lamar and Henry the best QB running back tandem ever?" But that's just a side question. But on the game, I'm gonna start with you, Jordan. Go backwards to you. How you feel about the game and the question I proposed there?
Well, one, I thought it was a great game. I actually thought, that Jaden Daniels played very, very well. I thought he was going to struggle against the Baltimore defense. He
What
actually played
defense?
Yeah, I was ready to
well.
say
I
they've
mean,
been
I know.
trash.
I know. I just thought maybe he struggled a little bit. Still a rookie. So I thought maybe they'd be able to, try to psych him up a little bit, cause him to make a turnover or whatever. But he didn't. He played a good game. They were in it. And I think that they have some really good things to come. I'm not so surprised with the way that some of these rookie quarterbacks are playing. It's such a different game now, and the way that they grow in the game from being, even from you start in middle school. Like, I remember playing football, middle school, you weren't really diving into X's and O's like that. You really weren't like that. Um, but they do now. You feel me? And that shit don't change. I mean, certain the schemes get different. Coaches disguise shit, but cover four is still cover four, cover three is still cover three, cover two is still cover two. That shit is still the same. Middle school, high school, college, NFL. So like I'm not necessarily surprised like about how he's played. And he has all the physical tools and shit. And they have weapons and they have a decent defense, so they're gonna be nice. The Ravens, I still think could be the best team in football, even though they don't have a good defense. I think they might be able to come around. But that combination of Lamar and Derrick Henry is really, 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 really difficult to stop. Um, you know, and the more that they evolve in the passing game off what they do based off of the run, they'll just be more, unstoppable. With the best running QB and running back tandem, you know, that might be the one. I
Yeah,
mean,
right.
you got some
Well, if you're gonna say running back,
you
running
you
QB, if
you
you talk
had
about let's just say
Vic and
QB,
Morg done. You had Cam and like D'Angelo, and like at one point he had CMC. Um, you had Vic and LaShawn McCoy at one point. Um, mhm, might be the one. Steve McNair and Eddie George.
Okay. It's just Daryl. Your thoughts on the game and the question I proposed.
Yeah, like I said before the game, this should have been a primetime game to give it the attention that it deserves, just with the two quarterbacks playing with how they're playing right now. Um, as far as the Ravens, they still sticking to what's working for them, or their identity, which is running the ball. Again, their Achilles heel was going away from the run, but since I forget what game that it was early in the year, but since then they've been holding back with the run game, and staying true to it. Flowers had a big game as well, catching the ball over 130 yards. I feel like the Commanders, they definitely missed Brian Thomas. I'm sorry, Brian Robinson, because Jaden Daniel, he was their leading rusher with only 22 yards, so definitely missed the running game. I feel like it just came down to whoever had the better team would win. Um, I still feel like I feel like the Commanders are in a good spot, especially with winning their division. But I feel like it's just the Ravens just continue their dominance. They're gonna have to continue that throughout the year, because if they're close to the end of the year, when games get close, they've shown that they can then blow leads. But for now, I like what I've seen. And as far as that question, I feel like they are, as far as accolades, career accolades, and potential, what they can do. They're the best tandem. I was just thinking like the closest thing might be Vic when he was in Atlanta, but he had a committee behind him with Warren Dunn and T.J.
Run
Duckett.
DVD.
Yeah, and then
yeah.
but as far as like this, just a simple
Yeah,
1-2 punch,
we have
I don't
1-2
think
punch
anyone.
accomplishments right now.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
anything comes
there's nobody
close.
better than that. Yeah,
Both are short first ballot Hall of Famers, and
yeah.
still
One should
still
have an MVP too. Derrick Henry should have got a fucking
exactly
MVP.
exactly. So both still in their prime. Both can easily get both. I wouldn't be surprised if both of them get over 100 yards in one game, like against a trash team. Like that's just
No,
how
that'd
good
be
they are.
fucking crazy.
Like,
Yeah. So
That would be
um,
so crazy, yo.
but yeah,
I'm sure that has that been done before.
probably
Like,
Uh,
hit the Googles, but yeah, I mean the Ravens
find
still
that out, Jeff.
continuing. They run, and I don't feel nothing less of the Commanders after this game. They still in a good spot. So both teams leaving 4-2.
Jeff, your thoughts on the game? Of course, the question I proposed.
yeah, it was a good game. I mean, it was a good game. Lamar with another turnover, but it was a good game.
Yeah.
Listen, again, I just he he was 20 for 26 for 300, but he had the turnover. I just want to see him be clean. That's all. That's all I want to do. Have a bunch of clean games together. Derrick Henry is just a monster. I don't even know what the Dallas Cowboys were like even thinking, letting him like even talk to anyone else. Like
Nah,
how to
word
wrap him
up,
up and put
man.
him in the trunk. Like, yo, let's go, bro.
That's
You
just
know,
crazy.
but as far as the game goes, the Ravens jumped out early. The Commanders ended up having to come back. They tried to, retrieve the win at the end of the game as the game wind down. They scored 10 in the fourth quarter. As far as Jaden Daniels, let's not forget, they've already advised us that they implemented a college-like scheme for him to make him more comfortable. My question is, what's going to happen next year when teams have gotten that on tape and are prepared for that college-like scheme?
He's
You know,
gonna evolve.
he's got that college-like scheme. Like, you're not seeing a pro-style offense. You're still running a college
But
type.
he's a different.
And we probably said that about Cam Newton too. We probably said that about a bunch of guys who came in and were hot.
No. He's
What,
not
and I
Cam
listen to
Newton.
me. And I say that because they had college-like schemes in when Cam first came in that first year. So again, what's going to happen when teams start to catch wind of that, right? So I'm really going to see what next year looks like with Jaden Daniels. He is small in stature. I do want him to put some more weight on. Like Daryl said, they was missing Brian Robinson because the running game was obsolete. They really had to rely on a quarterback. Luckily, the defense was able to keep it kind of close. Lamar had a couple 3 announced that were like, okay, you should have did this, should have did that. Derrick Henry ran for like 100 and something yards on 25 carries, at 5.5 yards a carry. So the Ravens are continuing to get better. It's going to come down, like I said, to Lamar. There's going to be a game where some team puts the clamps on that running game, and Lamar's going to have to drop back in the pocket and deliver some timely throws on the money. As far as we've known, he hasn't been able to do that. Like, he has a tendency of making bad passes, missing open receivers, throwing them Donovan McNabb balls in the dirt, that type of shit. Lamar does that. He has a history of it. So again, yeah, it looks great right now. All the running, yeah, Lamar going crazy. It's cool. But again, it's going to come down to that. And honestly, I think the Steelers might be competitive against the Ravens. As bad as I hate to say this,
We always are, honestly.
yeah, like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, the division game, but then, and I know this is going to sound weird to y'all, but with Russ added in, I think he makes it more competitive. I'm telling you, man. Like, He's
I'm
a
not
he's a
posting.
traditional
God.
pocket passer. Like it's just what these teams we need. When Russ start cooking,
This
I don't want to
rush
hear nothing.
shit, man.
Because when the season started, Mike was all like, "Russ this, Russ that." Damn, Jeff. Like I
Wait,
just
so
actually went to
you're
go look
on
in
the
the chat.
Russ? So
And
right,
Mike was
you're on
talking
the
on
Russ. You're
September
on the
9th.
Russ
Mike was like, "Yeah,
train.
Russ is our guy. He's a Super Bowl champ. He was 26-8."
I need receipts, man.
I didn't think he's
Right, so Russ,
Don't worry.
so Russ is your guy, Jeff. You want to see Russ?
Because Fields doesn't give me the traditional passer option. Like I don't like that. You have to have that in this NFL, bro. We complain about how bad Jalen Hurts is passing the ball and how he's primarily a runner and it doesn't work. That's what we have in Justin Fields, just a more advanced version of it.
Nah, but you don't in my personal opinion on even a Jalen as a thrower, like I think Jalen when he knows where
He can't
the
read
ball is
defenses.
going-
Who cares?
Hold on. I'm just saying this. When you talk like the difference, in my opinion, like okay, yeah, Lamar is the way better runner. You feel me? But in my opinion, like I think Jalen Hurts is a better pure passer than Lamar Jackson is. Like when Jalen Hurts knows where to go with the ball, Jalen Hurts is an accurate quarterback. He makes bad decisions and makes mistakes, but I don't think he's a bad thrower. He makes a lot of stupid ass fucking decisions.
That sounds contradictory as hell. Like he's a like that's just
no, because you can be because
either way. Hold on, let me finish my point.
Agree. He made a lot of dumbass fucking passes.
Yeah, that means he's not a good thrower. He makes bad decisions. He's not a good thrower.
No, that doesn't mean that. He's not the best thrower. He's not a pocket passer. He's not going to be the traditional pocket passer. But I think Jalen Hurts is an accurate quarterback. You feel him? When he throws the football, I think he's an accurate quarterback when he knows where the fuck the ball is supposed to fucking go.
He reminds me of when Sean McVay had Jared Goff. What do we call Mike the quarterback whisperer?
Like, hold on, Joe. I want you to finish so I can get in here real quick.
Yeah. So look, like I said, the Ravens, they're gonna have to show me something. I think they're gonna have really good competition against the Steelers, and we're gonna figure this out at that point. How they're gonna manage Lamar and his passing abilities. Like I said, Jalen Daniels, I need to see him next year when he's not in this college style offense. Let's see how he excels and goes forward from there. Now, as far as the best tandem, are we talking running quarterback and running back, or are we just talking quarterback and running back?
No, running quarterback and running back. The only one that even can come close is Steve McNair and Eddie George.
No way. Michael Vick was way better of a running quarterback than
but none of the running backs would.
Hold on. Michael Vick was better than who right now?
As far as running the ball?
Yeah, running quarterback.
He's better than Lamar.
Nah.
Yo, you see that? His greatest play is the one in Minnesota.
It's not too much of a difference, right?
Right. Was better, but it's not too much difference. But the running
he's a
back
better
makes the
runner.
Difference. But the running back makes a difference. None of the other running backs that were with the other running quarterbacks were as good as Eddie George or Derrick Henry. None of them.
Eddie George, I wouldn't. And listen,
Eddie George
wasn't a crazy running quarterback like that.
No, but he could run it.
He wasn't a crazy running quarterback.
But he could run it. But those back in the day QBs didn't have designed runs like that though. They were running the ball from.
He wasn't that fast though, McNair though.
He was running the ball.
He was running the ball. Yeah, he wasn't that fast though.
He wasn't fast as Lamar or Vick.
Still running quarterback.
I agree. I'm saying, but he wasn't fast. I'm saying, but or he wasn't that shifty. He wasn't that shifty.
He had no moves.
Right, but I'm saying but none of the. But you're saying the tandem between the two.
I'm going with Lamar and Derrick Henry, bro. I'm sorry.
I agree with you. I was saying the only ones that come close are those two.
Vick thing.
Wait, who the other one? Who the other?
The Warwick Dunn wasn't as good as those other two guys.
Warwick Dunn was nasty. No
He was nice.
But they had TJ Duncan though. They had a three-headed monster in the room.
Howard though. Dunn was out there shifting. Dunn was.
Wait. Eagles, Vick, and Shady.
That's a sleeper. But yeah,
that's a sleeper.
But I don't feel like Shady got.
But Eagles Vic wasn't as good as the Atlanta Vic though.
True.
He wasn't as fast.
Atlanta Vic and Prime McCoy, then you have argument.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Exactly. I thought it was a good question.
But Cam and CMC did have a little time.
Nah, Cam was done by then, bro.
Yeah.
Cam wasn't Cam by then, bro.
He wasn't cooked. He wasn't the same
Cam though. He wasn't the same Cam.
He wasn't shifty. He wasn't no juice. He had no moves. Like
he wasn't breaking.
Nah, Cam was fast though.
But a bulldozer. He had no
Nah,
juke
Cam had
move.
moves.
You
Yo,
never
Cam
seen
had
Cam
moves. Yo,
juke
Cam
nobody.
had
At
moves. You
least not.
tripping?
He was
No,
a
Cam had
bruiser.
moves.
Yo,
He was
Cam in
a-
open field was fast
No,
hell though, bro.
yeah, but Cam had moves.
Bruiser
Cam had
though.
moves.
He would run.
I get you.
He
Yeah, yeah,
run
yeah.
He's not
niggas
trying
over,
to juke.
Cam-
He's trying to lower your
Yeah,
shoulder
yeah,
and run
yeah,
through
yeah.
you.
He wasn't trying to, but Cam had the moves. Cam had the wiggles. He
Nah,
put a
Cam was
couple niggas
nasty.
up.
The
He
crazy,
put the
the
he
crazy
put a
thing
couple
that
niggas
what I
up
posted on the
stupid.
IG, he only had 2 400-yard games. It was his first 2 ever. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
crazy, bro. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
So about
I mean,
the
yeah.
teams, bro. That conversation was good, but I man, I went all over the place. So as far as the teams are concerned, is Brian Robinson back or he still hurt? This is,
I picked
Oh,
up
he
Eckler
might
just in case. So
but anyway, no, it was a good game. I think the problem with the Ravens are the defense, not as good as it was last year, and we're saying it all season. They give up like 20 something points a game. I forget the number right now, but even this game, I'm going to give 23. Like they not a shutdown defense no more. They have no lockdown ability. Lamar got to score, but he is averaging over 250 yards a game for time in his career for the whole season. I think he's throwing the ball better than he has all year. He's still my MVP pick. I'm sorry, Jeff, but I'm still rolling with that. I think that the offense with those two are hard to stop, man. Like because especially with the RPOs and stuff like that, like it's hard. And then which call can wear you out all game. It's almost like Shaq and Kobe, yo. Where like motherfucking Henry gonna wear you out all game, and then Lamar gonna close you out with his speed and some shit like that. Like it's bad, bro. But defense is their problem. That's why, as much as I like them, I don't know if they're the best in the game because the Chiefs have such a good defense, and they still got Mahomes. Even though Mahomes not playing as good as Lamar is right now, he still can make the play to win the game. And the coach, they got a better coach, they got a better quarterback, and they got a better defense. So that's gonna be tough to beat. But the Baltimore is right there. I like what Jayden Daniels is doing. I agree with both of y'all. I do think that the defense will catch up like every quarterback, but he will have to adjust. He do run that college style, but he also got this VR headset stuff for him to practice and stuff like that. That helps him out a lot. I was seeing, but we'll see how the defense catches up next year. And somebody on your side, Jeff, over here about the Russ situation. So I'm gonna post his comments. I did say that about Russ.
I know.
But I still want Russ. Get your girl, Jordan. But I do want to see receipts anyway. But nevertheless, the tandem is crazy, bro. So we're gonna see how it goes down the line. But I do feel like the Ravens did get back on track from what it was earlier in the season. I know Harbaugh said he didn't want to run Henry like that. I guess he said, "Fuck that, we're gonna run Henry, whatever, like that." So we're gonna see, how it goes later.
He just was saying anything, like
Yeah, and Zay. Oh,
I mean, it didn't make. I mean, I understood what he meant by it, but it didn't really come out.
Also, Andrews got his first touchdown this week, so he get back in the fold. Likely still going pretty good at tight end. And Zay balling or whatever, so he playing off this play action pretty good. So they're gonna be a little tough. But let's move on to the 2-minute drill here. And I wish I had a little song or something for it, but nevertheless,
we'll work on that. We'll work on that.
Yeah. But Cardinals Packers 2-minute drill. We had Packers won that game. Darryl, what are your thoughts on the game, man? 30 seconds.
For me, Cardinals still frustrating, inconsistent. one game, Kyler and Marvin getting 2 touchdowns in a quarter. Next game, silent. Another game, Cardinals beating the Niners. Next game, they getting blown out by the Packers. So just inconsistent. I like what I saw from Jordan Love getting back healthy, 4 touchdowns. Just using the weapons he has. Defense making plays as well. Good game for the Packers to keeping up in that division because it's competitive as well this year.
Jeff?
Yeah, I think that was a good game for the Packers too as well. Cardinals are feasting food. They just haven't got it together yet. Kyler probably needs to change the scenery since he is the problem. I love how Jordan Love has bounced back since his injury. He did miss those 2 games, which is astronomical for MCL sprain, so we probably got to check the steroids case. And then at this point, he's on pace to be an MVP. Like I said in the beginning, like I said, he's got 8 touchdowns and 3 interceptions over the last 2 games. He got all his weapons back. Jayden Reed, got Wilkes playing really well. Everyone's going to come together. Josh Jacobs is a great addition. Defense is probably starting to be better too. Can't wait till they get Jared Alexander back.
Jordan?
Yeah, I mean, as far as the Cardinals, they're a young team. They're still going to have to figure it out. They have to have an amazing game from Kyler Murray for them to really be competitive in most games that they play. So Packers, on the other hand, Jordan Love coming back, he's playing well. The offense is hot. We'll see what they do. I want to see what they do against a little bit, more better teams. See how he plays. Because he's a little bit of a wild card to me sometimes. He can
Me
put the
too.
ball in some particular some fucked up places sometimes. So I gotta see a little bit more, but we'll see.
Uh, Cardinals, are who we thought they were, as I always say. I don't know. Somebody thought that Kyler and Harrison would be a good connection all season, but it ain't working out well
It's
for them.
coming. It's
Exactly.
coming. It don't matter. It's still early. It's still.
but Packers though they didn't run the ball more with Josh Jacobs. I feel like they
Yeah,
did. But they might throw it too much. I feel like
Yeah.
sometimes. So we're gonna see if that bites him or not. But so far so good. Bucks. Jeff Saints Bucks. 30 seconds ago.
Bucks that whole game was crazy. Baker threw 3 interceptions and still came out the win, and they hung 51 on
Shake
the
and bake.
I don't know. That wasn't shaking big. That was crown fried chicken. I don't know what
I
you're
think
talking
I
about.
had 4 touchdowns still though.
Hear you, but 3 interceptions is wow, bro.
Listen,
Like
Nah.
that was a big
Don't
group.
sleep on the hey, don't do
Yeah,
that.
crowd fight. All right.
Yeah, it is. But
Don't do
Baker
that.
was good. Damn, Chris Godwin is in balling out the season. Actually, it's a contract year. I looked it up. That's why he's going crazy this year. It's a contract season for Chris Godwin. Buccaneers look really good. The offense is really good and sound. They had the running back situation going well. Bucky Irvin, I think, is hurt this week, or he's going to go to the bench. I'm not sure. I'll read some reports about that. The Saints themselves, damn, I don't know where they go. Olave out, Carr out. Kamara is all they have. Kamara is all they have. Huh?
Rashid Shaheed, he might be going.
Rashid,
yeah,
he might
You're
go
going to IR.
The
Yeah.
Saints might as well just go ahead and tank this one and try and find a quarterback. We'll see what happens next week.
Jordan Saints Bucks, man. Oh.
Yeah, I was shocked that the Bucks really didn't. Bucks defense really didn't play too well against the rookie. I mean, put up damn near 30 points against Rattler on the show. That wasn't really too positive there. As far as the offense putting up 51 points, Baker Mayfield playing great this year. They're a contender in the NFC because of that offense. Like I said, yeah, Godwin and Evans, another duo consideration. Top 5, top 6. We want to put them all. I'm gonna put them all in top 5.
Daryl Saints Bucks go.
For me, the Bucks, the defense is still a problem for me. Like giving up almost 30 points in one quarter to a rookie, that's a problem. I already told myself I'm hating on Chris Godwin all year because he didn't give me any type of this production last year. I'm hating him every week. But yeah, I feel like just the Bucks defense is going to limit them as far as winning that division and then make this noise.
Oh man, I told Jeff I got the best Bucks wide receiver, and I told you that from the beginning. That's how it played out. Shake and bake. Yeah, he had 3 picks, but 4 touchdowns to 4 touchdowns. But the defense is not good. They let Kirk Cochains kill him the week before. Now this week they let this rookie do it. So yeah, that's not good to me. But they'll be a contender throughout the Bucks. They'll still battle with the Falcons. I feel like towards the end. We'll see. Bengals Giants. Jordan, go on that one.
Yeah, I mean, it was a slow game. The Giants didn't play that bad. I'm worried about the Bengals. I don't know. They should. Hopefully, they can get it together and make the playoffs. They showed a little bit of a running game, but they're not putting it all together on offense, though, for whatever reason. It's too inconsistent, and they still can't really protect Joe Burrow that well. Bad matchup against the Giants with the Giants defensive line, but Bengals got to get it together.
Daryl.
Yeah, this was a snooze bowl. But this game, well, first of all, the Texans game and this game was clear as day as the Bengals are missing Joe Mixon. Like Joe Mixon coming off injury, having like 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards. They're missing his production. T. Higgins and Chase, they can make plays, but I feel like they underestimated the production they had with Joe Mixon, and that's going to limit them.
Yeah.
Jeff.
Bengals 30 points last 3 games before this one, just to lay an egg against the Giants, but they might have some good home cooking coming up. They got the Browns and then the Eagles, so they should get right on track. Then they'll follow it up with a loss to the Raiders, so we'll keep an eye on them.
As long as Bengals got that offense, they're always going to be in it. But the defense is not great this year at all. They also the offensive line not great, but Chase can break out any game. And Mutilli is there. They play even better. But they do their running game. Giants are the Giants. They're not whole, but I think Daniel Jones hasn't been playing that bad. So that's my thoughts on that. Chargers Broncos. Jeff, you can start this one.
Crazy. Chargers Broncos. I thought the Broncos would have the up on this one, but the Chargers actually showed some moxie. I mean, I like Justin Herbert. He had a really solid game. John Harbaugh is still a really good coach in this league, actually. You know, it's funny that I say that because I didn't have any faith in them. They'll probably finish third in the division behind the Raiders and the Denver. Behind the Raiders. But, you know,
You don't believe that yourself, bro.
I don't believe that at all, actually. I'm just saying it for the show. But, it was an interesting game. It was actually a division game, and we'll start to see the future about that. Sean Payton, Harbaugh, good matchup.
Daryl.
I mean, for me, Chargers, they got a top 3 defense. Like, they give up the fewest points in the league. They're a run first team. They don't go away from running the ball. They're not shy from it. They know what they want to do is run the ball, and that's taking the pressure off of Herbert. I know they kind of stripped him of his weapons, so it kind of makes sense that they're running the ball. The Broncos, they got a good defense. I like Bo Nix. Both of these teams got some promise, better than I expected at this point.
Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, it was it's a division game. Two teams that one team has two teams that have somewhat have an identity, but um, you know, the Chargers are going to need another weapon, no matter what they want to do, no matter what style they want to play, because they ain't gonna get them to where they want to ain't gonna get them to where they want to go. You feel me? I think the Broncos have their quarterback. I think they just need a few more weapons, and he needs another year, and they'll put something together.
Yeah, I'm surprised Broncos defense gave us so much in that game. They've been playing really, really well.
Yeah.
So that kind of did shock me a little bit. The Chargers, why you make smiling, Jeff?
He's coming through. Don't worry.
The Chargers, they do need weapons down the line. I'm so mad I pick up J.K. Dobbins, but they do need some more receivers. So whatever.
He was too risky.
Yeah,
He's always
exactly.
hurt.
Yeah.
He's perfectly fine on my roster. So.
Moving forward, though,
Crazy.
This is a Jordan topic, but I'm gonna put it in here. Top 5 teams instead of just all together in each division, AFC and NFC. Let's start with the NFC. I have it here. Jeff, who's your top 5 teams in the NFC?
NFC top 5 teams. The Detroit Lions are going to go first. I'm gonna follow that up with the Minnesota Vikings. Then I'm gonna follow that up with I like the Falcons. I think they have some promise going forward in the future. I think the Washington Commanders are going at 4th, and then my last team in NFC is going to have to be the San Francisco 49ers. I think they'll come in at the last place of that. As far as the AFC goes, the number 1 team in the AFC are, of course, the the Super Bowl champions, the Chiefs. Then I'm gonna follow that up with the Texans. Then I'm gonna go with the Ravens. Then I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills. And last but not least, I still got hope for the Jets, but I'm not gonna say them. I'm going to say the Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right, and the receipts don't prove nothing, by the way. But
I'm just saying, you go like he a 2-time champ, he a pro.
He is that, but I'm still rather go with Fields right now. But anyway, Daryl, go ahead, man. I'll start with the NFC. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry, NFC. I'm gonna go Vikings until somebody beat them, which brings me to my next one. Lions. They play this week. This should be a primetime game. I got them at 2. Niners at 3. Commanders at 4. And for me, it came down to the Falcons and Eagles. I got the Falcons since they beat them. I got Falcons at 5.
All right.
AFC, I got the Chiefs number 1, Ravens 2, Texans 3, Bills 4, and my Steelers at 5.
Jordan, nigga sleep.
He might be
frozen
again.
I think he froze.
Oh,
I'm
can you
gonna.
hear me?
Yeah.
All right, so my NFC Lions number 1. I actually have the 49ers at the 2.
Really?
I have the
Okay.
Vikings at the 3. I have Tampa at 4 and Washington at 5.
What was 1?
At Detroit at 1.
AFC.
AFC, I have the Chiefs, the Ravens. I will put the Texans. And I kind of have similar to Daryl because I would put the Bills at 4. And I don't actually mind putting the Steelers at 5 because right now they look like definitely the 5th best team as far as when you look at all the other division winners. They're probably not going to win the division, but outside of them, they're the 5th best team in the AFC.
Who? Oh, Steelers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I got Lions at 1 like you, even though Aiden Hutchinson might change that in a couple weeks. If they pick somebody up, I would go get, I'm sorry, if not Crosby, I would get Son Reddick as well. They need somebody as a rusher. Also, I got the Vikings at 2. I'm going to go with the Packers at 3. I like the whole NFC North, to be honest with you. Niners probably at 4. And right now, I'm going to go with Kirk Cochain and the Falcons at 5. With the AFC, I'm going to go with Chiefs at 1, of course. Ravens at 2. Houston at 3. Bills at 4. And yeah, definitely. I mean, the way it is, you're right. Steelers at 5. For
Honestly,
sure.
yeah, there's
That's
not too much.
That's it.
Like, because the Dolphins look the way they look right now and the Jets look the way they look,
Yeah, Steelers better.
those are the only two. Right. The Steelers are better right now. And the Jets and the Dolphins are going to fight it out for the wild card.
Why are
Yeah.
they even in
Yeah.
contention for the top 5 teams? Either
Who?
one, the Jets or the Dolphins.
They not. They should.
Well, no, they're not. But I'm saying they're going to be the other two wild card teams with the Steelers. Likely.
Yeah.
Right, the Raiders.
Unless
Anyway, moving forward, man. Darryl, you got any picks this week? We can pick up more.
Yeah, man. Contrary to the Pickens record, I've been kind of hot with the locks of the week.
Okay.
I'm gonna take Commanders minus 8.5 against the Panthers at home.
Cover the 8, 8.5.
Yep, they're gonna win by double digits at least.
All right, Jordan. Any thoughts on the picks?
yeah, I'm probably not looking at FanDuel till probably.
All right.
Man,
Wow, you been cooking? What you talking about?
looking.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
listen.
in your best streak.
Listen, this weekend, I don't even really want to talk about it right now.
Oh wow.
But
Just some stuff you ain't tell us about.
Right.
no, it's not even that. It's just like,
That baseball probably getting his
Yeah.
nah. I mean, baseball. Actually, I did hit a baseball ticket last night, 200. Shout out to Aaron Judge and Jose Ramirez. But
Yankees. Yeah.
fuck the Yankees though. But go Phillies, even though we fucked up. But
They did go. They went home.
well, y'all about to go home too.
Anyway, go ahead, man.
Either the Mets or the Dodgers will whoop y'all ass.
Come on, man. The picks, man.
Nah, man, fuck them picks.
All right.
I'm not betting this week. I'll catch y'all crying in the chat on Saturday or Sunday.
He gonna bet what's all over watch. I'm bet you, but I'm gonna go with
I'm at $3.37.
he probably only lost $18 and he all crying.
I mean, I'm gonna just throw the number out there. I lost 140 this
Oh, all right.
weekend.
Okay, all right.
I'm getting used gambling for real.
All right.
Yeah.
You was like Daryl. Daryl been losing too. A little bit. Watch that nigga.
And robbed.
I'm gonna go with the Packers, bro. Packers minus 2.5 over the Texans. I'm going with the Packers. I think Texans are due. I think Texans have been kind of like skating a little bit. They're a good team, but you know, I think this week they will catch the L to them and stuff like that. Plus, the Packers got to win because they're actually fourth in the division in the NFC North, so they got to win. So I'm gonna go with that. Jeff, what's up with the pickles, bro?
Pick'ems, let's go. I pick 'em, you pick 'em, we pick 'em, baby. So last week, Daryl had Baltimore, the Jets, Denver, Pittsburgh. Jordan had Baltimore, Jets, Chargers, Pittsburgh. Mike had Baltimore, Bills, Pittsburgh, Denver. Toby had Chargers, Pittsburgh, Bills, Washington. Either way, end of the week, Toby was 4-0. Shout out to the Merry Man, 4-0. Coming
Shout out to Toby.
bag. Jordan 3-1. Jordan had, like I said, the Baltimore, the Jets, the Chargers, and Pittsburgh. Mike was 3-1.
Dumbass Jets.
Yeah, dumbass Jets. Democrat he was 2-2 last week. He had Baltimore, Jets, Denver, Pittsburgh, and I had a snoozer. I was hoping for. Week 6.
Told y'all gotta take the foot off the gas.
So through 6 weeks, we got Mike 16-7. Jordan with the furious comeback at 15-8. Toby at 14-9. I'm at 11-12, and Democrat still in the basement at 10-13.
Creep it up. All right, this week,
weeks like that, I'm good.
This week,
you got Packers versus Houston, Lions versus Vikings, Ravens versus Bucks,
Yeah, I already know.
Bears, Commanders, courtesy of Jets. Courtesy of Jeff.
Undefeated weeks. This is an undefeated weeks loading.
All right, go ahead.
go ahead, rock out. You first.
Oh, you got me first?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got Houston I got Detroit, I got Tampa, and I got the Commanders.
Houston, Detroit, Tampa.
Tampa over the Ravens.
Yes.
Daryl?
If you
I got
think
Houston.
fucking
I got
Jay Daniels let him up.
yeah, I got Houston. I got Lions. I got Ravens. I'm gonna roll with Jalen. I'm gonna go with Daniels. I'm gonna go with Commanders.
I learned my lesson last week. You better think twice.
Wait, Washington and Bears. That's this
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Washington play the Panthers.
Come on,
yeah.
Jeff.
Man, that's bullshit.
Oh,
That's right.
Yeah, that was my lock of the week. Washington over Panthers.
Oh, yeah, he did say that. Yeah, at the Heat. Yeah.
oh, man.
Come on, Jeff. Yeah.
Bears-
See, I told you he had one job.
Bears
I just got
gotta
like
buy
4
it.
jobs.
Bears got to buy. That's next week. They play the week after.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
That's
All right, I'm going to take that off then.
I don't know if it might.
All right.
Just
What's
those
road?
three? Okay.
Yeah. All right. So Jordan, you got Houston, Lions, Bucks, right?
Yeah.
All right. And Daryl, what you got?
I
Houston,
had
Detroit,
Houston,
and
Detroit,
Baltimore.
and Ravens.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
I mean,
I
just
got-
leave it at 3 games.
Yeah. And I got Packers.
Mhm.
I got the Ravens in the middle game. I'm gonna go with the. That's a tough one. The game is in Minnesota, right?
It is.
No Aiden Hutchinson, which is tough.
I mean, yeah, that is like, yeah. I mean, I didn't think of that, but
I'm
gonna
still-
roll with Detroit.
Yeah, I'm still rolling with Detroit. Yeah, I'm rolling with Detroit.
We'll get Toby's. Sadly, I'm a mirror Mike. I'm gonna go Green Bay, Baltimore, Detroit.
Yeah.
I think Green Bay about to start surging. So I'll get Toby's pick.
They gotta win, bro. They're fourth in the division. They need that win.
I mean, for the division.
I mean,
but it's
yeah,
so
but-
tight. Like,
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest, like those 3 teams. I mean, bro, would it be wild if all 4 of those teams made the fucking?
they
playoffs?
probably will. I think they will.
What if
This
the
year's
Eagles
NFC.
didn't
Pull
make
that
the
out.
play- what if the
This
Eagles
year's
didn't
weak.
make the
NFC
playoffs?
weak this year. So
That's what I'm saying.
I can see
Yeah,
it.
the NFC is weak this year. Like the Eagles are not.
That's not good for y'all though. Like,
Alvarez
I
said
don't
it's
give a
not.
shit. I don't give a shit. After 5
The only-
weeks, I'm done.
the only teams getting in their way is the Bucks and the Cowboys or Eagles. It's one
No,
of
no,
those.
the Eagles.
stop the Eagle shit.
It's only,
And
no,
the
no, but
Falcons.
it's only,
I think
no,
Falcons
it's
will
only
win the
Eagles or
division.
the Falcons. It can only be the Eagles or the Falcons, no cap.
But I got
Because
Falcons
if the
winning that division.
Commanders actually win the division, then the wild card, the Eagles are out.
They might be out, right? Which would be if the Eagles out, Nick definitely fired, bro.
Oh, yeah. They're fired anyway, but I mean, yeah.
The Eagles have to win the division. If the Eagles don't win the division, they're out.
Yeah, y'all gotta beat them twice, Commanders. That's what y'all gotta do, honestly.
No
Yeah.
way can 4 teams, the whole division, make the playoffs. That's like that can't.
That would be,
Three
I
and
mean,
three,
that would be
good.
crazy
That would
as
be
shit, bro.
astronomical, bro.
I mean, if the Lions win the division, and then what if the? I mean, I would trust Minnesota. I don't know if I would. It would be between like Atlanta and Chicago. You feel me? At that point, who's better there? Like I might.
Chicago getting better, bro. Chicago defense good too.
Oh, I think Atlanta.
Nah, I got Chicago, bro. So I fuck with Caleb, bro. Their defense getting better, yo, for real. So, and I don't trust Kirk, man, standing in that pocket like that.
I
So
don't trust that rookie. I'm good.
I feel you. I feel you. All right, well, fellas. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We'll be back next week for Toby. Shout out to him again with his wedding and his honeymoon. For Jeff, for Jordan, for Daryl. We'll see you on the next. Peace.
All right.
Later.